Okay, good evening, people. Right, we're going to start now. Couple of house rules, firstly. Thank you, everybody, for joining. We are expecting several more to join, and they'll probably log in the next few minutes, I guess. So my name is Vinod Siani. I'm the CEO of EducateMe Group, and I'm talking to you today from London, United Kingdom. Now, a couple of house rules. Firstly, Gaurav is our IT person behind the scenes who will be navigating the slides. And we have others who are going to be involved later on in terms of connecting with any of you who have questions later towards the end. So any questions, if I can ask you all, please, to reserve these and keep these on hold towards the end. And what I often find is that the questions quite often are very common between many of you. And so by holding out at the end, when I answer one question, it perhaps could, of course, answer several of others who may have the same question or similar. I will go through in this webinar, of course, how best you can make an application to a university using an agent, what to look for in an agent, how to avoid scams, and so forth. So some of you perhaps may have had experience on a one-to-one, which has brought you to this webinar. Some of you may have heard of other people having unfortunately been experienced with such. And then, of course, the idea for perhaps one or two of you maybe is just to understand how this works and what you should avoid. So we welcome everybody. We welcome everybody. So the first slide, as you can see here, is, of course, EducateMe Group, your tougher study abroad decisions made easy through experience and care. Next slide, please, Mr. Guru. Okay, a little bit about us. Who is EducateMe Group? What do we do? So EducateMe Group is a UK-based educational organization that provides consultancy to students and parents. Primarily, we offer rounded support for learners of all stages of international study. That's a little picture of me. Next slide, please. A little bit about me, a snapshot in brief. I've been working with lots of students in my 36 years of working in the United Kingdom, working with many universities, colleges in various roles that I've had over the years, senior roles, several of them. I've been involved also in forums with UKVI, the Home Office, concerning compliance and visa and many others. So I've got a lot of experience that I can brand together and come here and say, look what I have learned, I can explain a little bit more and help you avoid some of these regrettable areas of experience that one or two may have had. I get a lot of parents and students who come to me explaining, what the process they have taken, quite often a regrettable experience. We've had students their parents have invested a lot of money, sometimes from agricultural land that they have, and they've had to, borrow that on mortgage and taken out many, many lakhs of loans, only to find that they have been scammed. And how somebody just turn around from that? It's really, really difficult. And we've had students crying, parents crying, and it's unfortunate that there are people out there whom are spoiling the reputation, the good reputation of organizations like ours who are here to genuinely help students progress and achieve their aspirations. So let's go forward and see how we can help you all reach your aspirations. So our aim is to make quality education more accessible to you around the world. Next, please. A lot about an organization is about their awards and accreditations. When you look at organizations, one thing you must always do is what is the history behind them? Why should we choose them? It's like buying a car. When you go and buy a car, you look at, are the doors opening and closing? Does the engine start? Are the wheels all inflated? The tires all inflated? There's no punctures. There's no rust. Does it drive? Does it change the gears? You make all of these decisions that help you understand whether you're going to make this purchase. Very similar in when you're making a purchase or a decision about using an agent, what checks, pre-checks are you doing? Is it that the board on the front is very luminous and it says they are the best, so we go and use them? Or is it about, let's do some background checks, let's go and visit their website. What do they have that actually says they're good at something? Our website has all of these accreditations and awards, and we want to boast about it. Of course we do, because it's great things that we have achieved. Next slide, please. Why would you want to use an organization like us? Why should you not use another organization? There are many organizations where you are possibly. There are rows and rows of shops and agents and consultancies. What makes them different from each other? Do they charge you an application fee? Why are they charging you an application fee? Are they partners with anything else? Do they can help you with employment? Can they help you with visas? These are things that you should be asking yourself. Will they help me with employment? EducateMe is invested and partnered with an organization called Student Circus. Please do go and Google this. Student Circus is an organization that helps international students in the United Kingdom source employment. There are not many organizations that are there that agents are partnered with and saying, you know what, when you are in the UK, there's an organization that we are partnered with that will help you find employment. EducateMe has that in place. Do they charge you any money? No, they don't. Does EducateMe charge you any money for your application? No, it doesn't. Who can help me with my visa? We are partnered with one of the largest organizations in the world called VFS. They used to be called VFS. They're now changing name to One Vasco. VFS are an organization that works with governments. In India, they have offices all over India, and their job is to be a visa office where you can go and submit your papers. Their job, One Vasco, is to send these papers to the United Kingdom for decision making. Now, they are an organization that is helping two governments. What we do in our partnership with One Vasco is we pay them a fee for them to check an application, whether it is credible, whether there is any problems for visas. So they will check your documents, your financials, your statements, and ensure that if we are to submit your application, there is 0% of it getting refused. There are not many organizations who invest in the student by having this opportunity. So one question I will ask you is, when you're making your decision, who do I use? Ask these questions. Next slide, please. Let's look at finding the right agent for you. I use the example of buying a car. You would kick the tires, you would open and close the doors. You would need to do your research. You would need to check. Is it a good car? How many miles per the gallon or kilometer does it give me? Is there good reviews about it? So when you go and look at an agent, have you done these pre-checks? Do they have a website? Do they have a Facebook page? How many people are following them on Facebook? Do they have Google reviews? These are things that you must do. One of the things I find that when I ask students who give me these horror stories or parents, I say to them, what made you go there? Oh, sir, they said that they will do everything for us. And one of my friends recommended them. But they wasted our time. And the students that they said they had, they didn't get. They were false. And we fell for the scam. Now we know. So EducateMe is already a website. It's got its own website. It's got accreditations, awards. Just under 50,000 followers. Over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. And just look at that, 98.1%. We have no problem in explaining and showing all of our testimonials. Does your agent that you want to go to, are they open and transparent in giving you this opportunity of learning about their business and what they can do? Please, please do not waste your time with organizations that are out there that tell you they can do everything for you and they can't. Do your pre-compliance checks. At no point am I saying you must use us. I am saying make sure you avoid other organizations by doing these pre-checks. Satisfy yourself that you are investing in the right agent. Next, please. Certifications and association. EducateMe is already part of a wide range of accreditations and associations. British Council. The British Council has got a database of accredited agents. These are agents who have actually taken a test to know about the country, UK, the universities and entry requirements, and they are listed on the British Council of having passed this test. Please do go and check. These are free resources to you that you can go to the British Council website, type in the name of the agent and the city, and it will tell you which agents have passed the British Council accredited test of agents. So please do that. ISEF is another organization that looks at bona fide agents, credentials of these agents. Have they got references from universities to say, actually, this agent is a good agent? We've reviewed, we've checked assessments from their students talk good things about them. And the universities have had 0 refusals from the agent. And therefore, that is something that ISEF does. It's a bank of accredited agents. Please do, again, look at that and you can see for yourself. And often they are listed agents in your city as well, where you are. So these are a handful of pre-checks that you can do to make sure that the agent you are using is bona fide, is truth, is transparent, it's loyal, it's accredited. Make sure you do all of this, please. Next. Be transparent. Make sure that the agent you're speaking to is not forcefully making you a decision to choose a university that you don't want, to choose a course that you don't want. Okay? So please make sure that you look at that. Often agents make you a guarantee. 100% you'll get the offer. There isn't a lot of pre-checks they ask you. They don't ask you a lot of questions. Please make sure that you ask questions. How much are the fees? How much does it cost to live? Residential, what does it cost? Will I get accommodation? Will you help me at the airport? These are things that you need to ask. Don't be afraid of asking these questions. Next, please. Make sure that your agent is open to helping you. Often what we find is that the agent wants to get as many students at one university. That's often what we try to find. What we find quite often is happening with a lot of agents. Try to make sure that the agent is making sure their approach is personal to you. They don't group up students and families together and say, look, we can all make you get to this place. It's personal for you. They invest time in you and your family. Next, please. Visas, assistance. We touched on this a little bit just now in terms of One Vasco. One Vasco are an organization that process millions and millions of visa applications with various government bodies. So these are the people who are actually very much aware of the pinpoints, refusals, why they happen. They happen because this document wasn't part of your pack. It happens because the personal statement wasn't 500 words or more, or wasn't specific to the course, to the university, the city. It was a hybrid personal statement that was used for 5 applications. Don't do that. It's got to be personalized. These are all things that we will make sure that we do for you, and it is checked by One Vasco as well. Next, please. Support services. Make sure that they have got experience of other students who have gone through them, and those students can support you. So have questions. Just this morning, I was doing a mock interview for a student, and he was asking me, sir, nobody in my family has ever been to the UK. I am the first in my family. My family is, of course, concerned. Will I find accommodation? How will I support myself? Do I need to take blankets and pillows with me? Are there shops around? How do I know what shop I need to shop at? How do I know if things are too expensive? So I said to them, we have a few students who are already from Nepal and who can connect with you. And we shared the phone number with them. They connected with them on WhatsApp. And an hour later, they said to me, thank you very much. In fact, the person you connected with us was actually one of my school friends, whom I've not spoken to in 3 years. And so I'm so grateful that you connected with us. So now they've got a conversation going, and they're so pleased that they've got somebody of support. So it doesn't just end with just your application. We will help you make sure that you're settled. And if you have any questions, I myself am already in the UK, and I will share my number with you. And so when you arrive, if there's anything that I can help you with, I will be there to help you. If it means that you need airport pickup, we can help you do all of that. So it should not stop at just making your university application. It should be beyond that. And that's what a lot of agents need to do. Some are doing it. There's some really good ones out there. But you please make sure that you ask these questions. Next, please. University partners. Lots of agents boast about having university partners. Are they on their website? Are they in their website? Do check whether they have partnerships. What I find is that some agents, rogue agents, they charge students whilst getting a commission from another agent or another university. So they're actually double dipping. That's not something that we do. Hence, we've always said from the beginning, it's free. There is no charge. Everything that we give you, our time, our recommendations, it's all free, whether you use us or not. We hope you will use us. But of course, there are lots of people out there who regrettably go to the wrong agents and are paying money to get help in something that should be free. So be aware, please. Okay, be aware. Ask them to show you proof whether they are accredited to these universities. Have they sent students before? These are things that you must be asking, please. Next. So we are reaching towards the end of our slides now. Things that we offer. So we do offer online courses. We do offer study abroad, which is, of course, what we're here for, teacher training, English empowerment, and English training. So if any of you require English training, preparation for English test, English proficiency test, IELTS, PTE, language cert, we can help you with all of that. Our fees are very competitive compared to what other agents are out there. Next, please. So these are just some of the university partners that we are currently sending students to. But there is 120 other university partners that are not just based in the UK. We can also do other countries as well, such as Canada, America, Australia, and so forth. Even Europe. Europe is a very big up-and-coming country, and I will talk about Europe in the next second or so. Next, please. Courses that are offered by universities, undergraduate, postgraduate, and of course, doctorate, PhD. There are many pathways, business, engineering, computing, and so forth. Next, please. What are the tuition fees? I always get asked this question. What are the tuition fees one needs to look at? What is the maintenance? What are the charges? Let me explain all of that. So firstly, if you're looking at the United Kingdom, in rupees, it would cost in the region of 14 lakhs. Okay? In Europe, a course that would cost 14 lakhs in Europe would cost 5 lakhs. There's a big difference. You're saving 9 lakhs instantly per year on a tuition fee. The employment opportunities are exactly the same, whether you're in Europe or whether you're in the United Kingdom. You can work 20 hours a week during term time and more when you're on vacation. Of course, earnings are a bit different. The currency and the value is, of course, going to be different. But you can live off those as standard living wages. Sorry, just bear with me. I have to close my door. My granddaughter is crying in the background. Right, sorry about that. So tuition fees, as you can see, you're saving 9 lakhs if you were considering Europe. Okay, employment's pretty much the same. Maintenance in the United Kingdom, the government asks that you show you have money in your bank account in India, whether that's fixed deposit, whether it's in the parent's name, whether it's in your name, that you show that you have enough money to maintain yourself after paying your course fees. You need roughly just over £1,000, possibly 1,100, 1,200 per month. So that's just over 1 lakh in the UK per month to live from. And that would pay for your accommodation, that would pay for your food, and that would pay for your travel. Perhaps anything else that you need out of that. So roughly 1 lakh per month is what you need if you are going to come and study in the UK. It is less, of course, in Europe. That is money that you just need to show that you can live from. That's just maintaining yourself. That is after your tuition fees. So if your tuition fees are 14 lakhs, and if you're doing an undergraduate course, that could be 3 years. So that's 14 lakhs each year. Then, of course, you've got your accommodation, maintaining yourself, which is a different cost. By working, you can, of course, maintain yourself and manage. You may need support from your family, but it would be less, of course, because you are working and hopefully paying your way. So that is possible after that. Next slide, please. So basic tuition fees. Thank you, Guru. Thank you. There are universities that offer scholarships. In the United Kingdom, we have universities offering scholarships between £500 and £1,500. In Europe, it is sometimes as generous as 50% scholarship. So Europe is out there really attracting students in a big way right now. There are some universities that allow you to do part of your course in Europe and then your final year in the United Kingdom. So you actually come away with a qualification awarded from a UK university. So actually, if you looked at your figures and calculations correctly, then you would be fine in choosing Europe as your destination to do your studies initially, and then actually going to UK to complete the final year. That way, your earning potentials in the UK are there. So that's just something that you can consider. Next, please. List of documents. We often get asked, what are the documents that I need? Well, universities can differ, but in general, what you see here is what you probably need. Now, for those of you who are using mobile phones, perhaps you can do a screenshot on your phone. Same if you're using a PC, perhaps you can do a screenshot so you get an idea of what you need. Thank you. Next question, please. Next slide, rather. Submit your inquiry form. So it's at this point now that I will say to you, for those of you who are interested in making an application, you don't know where it's going to go, you're just thinking about it. I would ask you to visit our website, download the application form from the website, complete it. We need to understand your profile. What aspirations do you have of courses and universities? Do you have a budget? Have you got any work experience? What is your prior education? Once we have this information, then we will connect with you and have a one-to-one conversation and look at progressing your inquiry further. Okay? But we can only begin that if we are in receipt of this inquiry form. All right, so I urge you all, please, complete the inquiry form and let us help you and see if we can help you achieve your aspirations of studying abroad. Next, please. I'm not going to play these videos, but I will ask you, please, that this webinar, the recording, will be made available on our website from tomorrow morning. And I will ask you, please, to go and look at some of these videos and testimonials. Okay, they will give you a really good understanding from a student's point of view, also from employment, student circus, how they can help you seek employment as well. In fact, our IT people, Gurav, has very kindly sent a link on this chat of any of you wanting to go and look at those testimonials or videos. Okay, thank you. Right, it's at this point now that I will open up the forum and ask any of you, please, to start asking any questions. Now, some of you may wish to unmute yourself and ask a question. Some of you may wish to use the chat. Whichever you find is convenient to yourself, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Go ahead, please. Does anybody have any questions? We are sharing on our chat the phone numbers of our counselors. Our counselors, standard Indian office hours, Monday to Friday, they can take your call and they'll be happy to talk to you about any inquiries you may have. The phone numbers of the counselors are there. Please feel free. Remember, there is no charge for any of our services for consultation, handling your application, etc. There is no charge. If any of you are interested in becoming a sub-agent, perhaps are helping students already, then there is a link there that's being shared there's a link there being shared on how to apply to become one of our outreach partners. I can see Valley. Valley, I can see your. Is this you, Valley, wearing a cowboy hat? Do you have any questions for us, Valley?
Yes, Vinod, he has dropped a question in the chat box.
Is it the franchisee partner you are checking, or giving opportunity to the student only to apply for study abroad? So we work with students and we work with sub-agents. We make the application on behalf of the sub-agent and on behalf of the student. So the applications that we submit are submitted directly to the university portals. So we have direct links with universities. Some of our agents don't have any university partnerships. So that is how we will fit in to that. So interesting in becoming an agent. So go to that link, sir, Mr. Valley, complete the due diligence, and our staff will be in contact with you and help you go further. Any questions from any students? Is there anybody who's a student and wishes to ask any questions? Yes. Does personal statement and SOP mean the same thing? Yes, it does. Statement of purpose, personal statement is exactly the same thing. That's from Meghna Mehta. Thank you, Meghna Mehta. Can I ask, has anybody experienced, and you don't have to say that, you don't have to give me the details, but have any of you experienced any scams? Right. So we've got a question. Should we recommend students to do IELTS academic or UKVI academic? So the answer would always be UKVI academic. Do you also recommend TOEFL and IELTS? It's IELTS for a long time used to be the dominating partner. It has the monopoly. It's been around for a long time, and it was one of probably the only handful of English proficiency tests. Now there are many. There is Pearson's, there is Language Cert, there is TOEFL, and there are many more. So it really does depend on yourself, which one you think is better for you. We would recommend, we are partnered with Language Cert, Pearson's, and IELTS. So we can do either of those. We can train our students for any of those mock, or rather, tests. I would say PTE tends to be easier the way the questions are laid out than IELTS. Language Cert is actually probably even easier because the time required is less. So you could find that Language Cert is going to be less, but you need to decide, we can help you, but we will need to know more about you, in other words, before we can give you a recommendation. So IELTS academic is generally for people who want to go to the UK, but not for university, probably pre-English. Okay? So if you're looking to go pre-English, so English classes, etc., then you would need IELTS academic. If you're looking to go to the university to study, then you need UKVI IELTS because you're looking for a visa to study. So I hope that answers your question. Any more questions? Okay. Well, if there's no more questions, then I will call this meeting to an end. Like I said, a recording of this will be made available on our website, and you can log in and check it tomorrow. Lots of links have been shared with you, agent links, testimonials, videos. Please do go and have a look at those links, okay? Lots of interesting information. And I hope I have managed to answer some of your questions, queries. Some of you may have had experience, regrettably, with scams, and I hope you've learned quite a bit here today. All right. Well, we've got no more questions coming in, so I will now call this meeting to an end, okay? Thank you very much, everybody, for participating and your time. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Good to hear. Thank you, Ranish. Day by day, we are gaining information. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Thank you. Okay, goodbye, everybody. Thank you.